All right, we're going to talk about what to spend your crystals on if you're a free-to-play player. Now, I know that if you play the game without spending any money and if you don't spend any of the premium crystal currency, I've heard of people being able to save up to about 6,000. Now, I have only spent $25 on this game, and I bought the pack that gave a large amount of crystals, and it's a one-time purchase for the entire account. So I do understand what it's like to not just go crazy and open packs, and you definitely can progress your account without spending a lot of money. The first thing I want to talk about is inventory, and I think this is probably one of the best places that I start off by spending crystals on, was upgrading the size of my inventory. It was very annoying right here, specifically with all the 1 and 2 star badges that accrue, and I ran out of inventory spaces. Now, if you don't want to spend any money on the inventory and upgrading the slots up to the maximum of 250, the 1 and 2 star badges you can dismantle, not a problem. I personally prefer to take the 3s and the 4s to the convergence box, and then my extra 5 and 6s, I put them into storage. So I hit the squad button right here and I put them into storage, and then I unload them here. And then once I start getting other characters, you can actually use those characters as storage. Like if I start running out of space here, I could start putting them into the extra characters. So you don't have to buy you don't have to buy the extra inventory. But what happens is I typically, before I go offline and I leave my BlueStacks, actually I play this on LD Player, I leave it on overnight and I farm because I need to get extra gold. And it fills up very quickly. So I do think it's a vital thing to take this up to 250 with cores, without a doubt, because when I'm farming overnight, this fills up. And then if I have a way of coming and checking every like 3 or 4 hours, I can sell off the 1 and 2 stars and just keep moving on, because then I get the convergium and things like that. Next, I'm going to say that I highly recommend unlocking the extra slots. You get 4 slots for free when you start the game, but to get slots 5, 6, 7, and 8, there's a cost. I believe it's 400 crystals a piece. And I'm just going to say, you do not want to not get these. You definitely want to get it. There's a lot of strategies involved with upgrading your alternate accounts, getting them to level 100, because it does help the entire your main account. And you're definitely going to want to be able to have all 8 slots. And if you're free to play and you spend those crystals on opening packs, you're going to run into a problem, and you probably end up having to spending money to unlock the slots. I think this is those 2 things you have to do. You have to, I think, do the inventory, and you have to unlock the other 4 slots, and they do give quite a bit. After that, it becomes your discretion on what to do. And I'm going to tell you what I do every day and what I feel is the best value for spending cores. And for me, without a doubt, it is spending it on the raid refreshes. Now, the raid refreshes is kind of a tricky thing. You have to have some friends. So I have 507,000 power, and what I'm hearing is that the ultimate raids are super challenging until you get over 550, 600,000. Even then, they take a long time. So unfortunately, to complete and do the ultimate raids, you're going to have some friends. And or you could try to solo queue and hope you get carried by somebody that has like a monstrous power. I feel like even at 500k, all I can do at this point is survive to the end of the ultimate raid. But the rewards on this, and you get 1 for free a day. We're talking about specifically in operations here in the raid. Like right here, we have the Kingpin, we have the Vision, and the Call raid. And you get to do 1 for free a day, and then you can spend 100 cores for a refresh, or a total of 3 extra, a total of 4. This is, for me, the best way to spend cores. And now that I've ran out of cores, because I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. I was going to start the game off free to play, see how the game is free to play. Is it fun? Is there a good free to play experience? And the answer is yes. And then I'll start spending. I just didn't feel like missing all of the content that could be had and the whole experience of the game by just wailing through it and blinking and flashing through the first 100 levels or something. And I feel like I've got a good idea of what it's like to play free to play. But yeah, I'm running into deficiency because I'm spending 300 cores a day on getting through the raids. And the specialization tree is such a big deal. It's such a chunk of power. It is a big, it's huge. It's absolutely huge to fill out this this tree. And every day my power is going up because I'm doing these raids. So it's a little bit dependent on either solo queuing and getting lucky and getting carried, or having friends that are already able to clear the raids. I imagine if there were 3 or 4 of us at 400,000 and we were diligent and we were very meticulous about not getting killed, probably a group of 3 or 4 of us could go in at 400,000 power. The battles do take a long time. I remember some of them taking as high as 15 minutes. But when you're in a well-oiled machine, and I'm sure that as people's power levels increase, it's going to get faster and faster. They're still taking 5 to 7 minutes with some big players, and it's important. Now, you have to go through the normal difficulties to get to that, but I don't think I would refresh on the lower tiers. It's definitely about being able to get the high tiers, because there's 3 tiers. This right here, the challenge is that, this is insanely easy right here. The challenge difficulty, the extreme difficulty is pretty easy to do. You can see right here behind me in my head, recommended power 452. I find that was overstated. I think I was able to do it when I had about 300,000. But the ultimate raid, for sure, not a joke. They recommend 678,000. I think when you start getting about 550. But I've been able to go at 500 power and do my part. I'm able to contribute, 15% or so of the total damage usually when I go in with somebody that's really big and do it. The next thing that I would suggest if you're thinking about doing cores now, it seems to me that they drastically nerfed the drop rates on these. I suspect. But the badges and being able to do the level 100s may be good for a limited time. Now, I did it for like 2 days and I said, I'm not getting anything good. And so I stopped. And I know a lot of the Kraken accounts religiously refresh the 100s. I can't justify the value there myself. It seems like I've got about a week doing the 3 100s every day, and I haven't pulled a red badge. In fact, I only have 1 red level 100 badge. I've got a couple, the reds are the 6 stars, but I've got a couple 5 stars, but the drop rates on them are pretty low. But this is actually a very free-to-play friendly mechanic, and I think every free-to-play player needs to do it. Run, don't walk. Make sure you do your 100s every day. For me, I'm doing, at a minimum, like if I'm scrapped for time, I always will do the 90s and 100s. And then depending on how much time I have, I might do the rest of them. And also because anytime I get a red badge, or even a gold badge, I'll put it into my storage. That way when I'm leveling my other characters, because all of those badges can be put into storage and we can use for my alts. So when I'm trying to upgrade my Black Widow and my Spider-Man, they have a significant boost because they're having access to the 5 and 6 star badges and Omega cards. You could do this with Omega cards also, because you get these Omega cards by finishing when you finish level 100, you do the bonus message, you get a bunch of extra. I think you get 4 star Omega cards. And I'm not using them anymore in my main, so you can put them on your alts, and then you can transfer them around. It helps drastically speed up the leveling process on the alts from getting them up to 100. Lastly, I wanted to talk about gear and how gear works in this game, and make some suggestions on gear. Now, I'm reluctant to talk about packs and things like that, because I have a feeling that right now in soft launch, the main purpose of the soft launch is to balance the economy. And I think a lot of the economy is going to change. So you're going to want to like and subscribe and follow more videos, because I think they're going to change a lot of the economy between now and launch. They've already changed it once, and I think they're making adjustments. It seems like they slowed the game down quite a bit. And a lot of you could definitely blow through all of your resources real quickly with a couple of these pulls. And I have done a couple of these, and I did get a lot of value out of them. But I want to explain what the value is and what the obstacle is if you're a free-to-play player. And it has to do with the crafting system, not only on gear, but also Omega cards. So the way it works is that you have a piece of 1 star. You have a 1-star helmet, let's say, and then you have 5 other 1-star pieces, and you combined all 6 pieces into one, and now you have a 2-star. Now you have a 2-star, and you have to go find 5 more 2-stars, and then combine all those 2 stars into a 3-star. Then you have a 3-star, and you got to find 5 more 3-stars and combine them all, and so it ramps up. And the problem is that during your normal gameplay, you're lucky to get, you know, a handful of 1-stars. Maybe if you're lucky in a box, you'll get a 2 or 3-star. But really, the total value that you get from daily play, as far as the total number of 1-star pieces, is probably about 20. But on the last day of the month, they give you a 5-star box. And the 5-star box is actually worth like almost 1,300 pieces. What I'm trying to say to you, there is more rewards in logging in every day than actually playing the game. They've incentivized, like, you literally logging in is more important than playing the game. There's not much extra rewards you can farm or earn or complete by playing the game mindlessly for 8 hours a day, rather than just logging in and then at the end of the month you collect your, because throughout the month there's way more gear allotted in the daily calendar than there is by playing the game. It's just the way they've done it. They've gone on this allowance system rather than a farming system. There's very few things in this game that can actually be farmed. Most of it is just literally just allocated like in an allowance. And so there is going to run into problems where once you know what gear you want to upgrade, you're going to run out of pieces, and you're going to need to make decisions on what's going to be the best way of getting bulk pieces to do it. Now, the thing about the 1,800 pull, which I've done before, it seems like you get a minimum of 3 stars, but sometimes you get a 4 and sometimes you get a 5. And then, of course, there's the super rare chance that you pull a regional. But for getting bulk pieces, this is just it puts you light years ahead, especially if you pull a 4, which is worth 216, or a 5, which was worth 1,200. Where even 136 out of, you're going to get 36 times 10, right? Because you have 10 pulls. It's kind of a big deal. It is also made, and you're going to have to check the store, because I have a feeling I'm going to talk about a pack, and then the pack will disappear, won't be available. But there are these packs inside the store from time to time, where these bundles, and from a raw bulk amount of gear point of view, it's a better deal. And I'll give you an example. So this right here, Superior Iron Man set, this costs 2,000 crystals, and you get 4 4-stars. So the 4 stars are worth 216 a piece. So this has like a total value of over 800 pieces. Let's just say 850 pieces, where if you spent the same 2,000 crystals or 1,800 crystals on 10 pulls, and on those 10 pulls you pulled all 3 stars, the 3 stars, and I've done it many times. Well, not many times. The times that I've done it, I think I've done it 3 times, and 2 times it was all 3 stars, with total value there of 360, right? 10 3 stars at 360, where the one time that I pulled 8 3s, 1 4, and 1 5, which is not very often. Yeah, that was a better deal. But from this point of view, just from a bulk gear point of view, this is a better deal, because these pieces are worth, because from bulk crafting is a problem. And then from right here, you can see the total number of days of getting a 6-star in a full set almost takes a year, and it should. Otherwise, then you're done, right? So it takes a long time to get those 4 pieces up and running. So I do think that there are opportunities in the store to have better values, but I'm reluctant to talk about this, and I'm more excited about talking about this right here, because then once you're armed with this information, you can make on decisions whether it's gear or cards, if that's what you need, because a large part of the value is in cards and gear, where you can get ahead with your power. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe. We're going to be doing more videos on this channel. We're waiting for global launch, which is here at the end of the month. But we're going to be putting out a lot of free-to-play and dolphin type guides here in the next couple of weeks. Plus, you know, what are the best characters, which is a tricky question. Black Widow. But she's probably going to get nerfed. We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.